A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan backed by action makes your dreams come true. A pleasant morning to one and all. On behalf of PG and Research Department of Commerce, I extend a very warm welcome to all the invitees for the one-day international conference on the journey of cryptocurrency. So let us see about glimpses of our college and department. Velalar College for Women was affiliated to Bardar University, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. Established in 1970, an esteemed and pioneer institution to educate and empower the rural women in Erode district of Tamil Nadu. It offers recognized undergraduate, postgraduate, and research programs in various disciplines with 6,400 students. Our institution has a credit of autonomy status, college with potential for excellence, re-aggregated with A grade by NAC, and ISO 9001 2015 certified institution, Nodal Research Center of Spoken Tutorial, IIT Mumbai. NIRF ranking 4-star rating from IIC. Our campus has a well-built academic infrastructure like library with Delnet, InflameNet, smart classrooms, computer laboratories, math lab, research lab, English language and career laboratory, etc. PG and Research Department of Commerce at a glance. The PG and Research Department of Commerce was established in 1975, offers BCom, MCom, MPhil, and PhD, and UGC sponsored 3 career-oriented add-on courses. It has 7 eminent faculty members and 2 ad hoc faculty have proven themselves in their respective fields. And its credit a research output of 230 MPhil and 56 PhD candidates since 1972. Introduction of conference. The journey of cryptocurrency, the conference theme. Cryptocurrency is a digital or virtual coin wherein transactions records are maintained on a decentralized system. They have their own store values and are designed to use as a medium of exchange for buying goods or services, and also built on using blockchain technology. It facilitates free portability across geographical borders, divisibility, and transparency. To invest in cryptocurrency, investors need to choose the cryptocurrency. It may be a home currency or US dollars, and crypto exchange. There is no regulation or ban on the use of cryptocurrencies in India. Ethereum, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ripple, and more cryptocurrencies are fast growing and popularizing in India. First of all, let us thank unto our God because of His mercies and blessings. So we have gathered in such a beautiful occasion this morning. One song can change a moment, one idea can change a world, one step can start a journey, but a prayer can change the impossible. May I invite everyone to invoke the abundant blessings of Almighty. Prayer.
கலையாத கல்வியும் குறையாத வயதும் தகடு மாறாத நட்பும் கண்டாத இளமையும் பழுப்பில்லாத மனமும் தலையாத மனமும் அணுகலாத நீதியும் தகராத சமாதானமும் தடைகள் மாறாத நிலையமும் போராத போலும் ஒரு துன்பமில்லாத வாழ்வும் ஆதிகடமூரி வாழ்வே
A small cheer and great welcome makes a merry feast. May I now request our beloved head, PG and Research Department of Commerce, Dr. B. Renuka Devi ma'am, to present the welcome address. Please, ma'am.
Good morning to all. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you all for the international conference on the journey of cryptocurrency. I extend a warm welcome to through S.D. Chandrasekhar sir, Secretary and Correspondent, and Dr. S.K. Jayanti, Principal for the conference, who are the great source of inspiration in all our activities. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome Dr. Abhishek Kamraj, Assistant Professor in the Industrial and Manufacturing Engineering Department, Kettering University, Flint, USA, for accepting our invitation to give keynote address. His research interests include additive manufacturing, Industry 4.0, electrochemical manufacturing, process modeling and simulation, micro manufacturing, biomedical micro devices, and engineering education. He has authored 20 peer-reviewed articles, contributed to 2 invents and disclosures, and has over 400 citations of his scholarly writings. He is a member of IISc, ASME, and SME. Dr. Abhishek holds a PhD and MS in Mechanical Engineering from the University of Cincinnati, USA, and a bachelor's degree in Mechanical Engineering from Bhiwani, India. Once again, I hearty welcome to him. My hearty welcome to faculty members from college and from other institutions. I also welcome faculty from our own department and from other departments and from other institutions for this. Once again, I welcome Anurag to the. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. It's my privilege to invite our extraordinary leader, our beloved Madam Principal, Dr. S.K. Jayanti ma'am, a leader of infatigable zeal, armed with skills and ingenuity. She toils hard to unearth and boost the potential of Vellalar fraternity for a promising future. Under her leadership, the Velalite fraternity stands speechless as it looks back to the accomplishment of time-bound action, definite targets, and laudable outputs. I request our Madam Principal to felicitate the gathering. Please, ma'am.
Serving for the best of society comes back in an unexpectedly positive way. Very good morning to the distinguished resource persons, respected Secretary and Correspondent, Thiru S.D. Chandrasekhar sir, organizers of this conference, Dr. V. Renuka Devi, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Commerce, and her team, all the faculty, participants, and everyone present here. I am here to wish good luck to every participant of this conference. I feel privileged today to felicitate our faculty from Commerce Department for arranging this international conference on the journey of cryptocurrency. A cryptocurrency, a digital kind of currency, is marked by cryptography, which works on blockchain technology. Cryptocurrencies became a worldwide phenomenon where the world's progression is moving towards the cashless society. With the industrialization and the involvement of technology, digital currencies are gaining a good position over others. Through cryptocurrency, it is easier to transfer funds directly between two parties without the requirement for a trusted third party. Really, the topics to be shared by the eminent resource persons are informative and enrich the knowledge of every participant present here in the field of cryptocurrency. And it is mandatory for everyone to be aware of this topic in today's scenario. On behalf of Vellala College for Women, I feel proud and privileged to have the resource persons and also the speaker, the keynote speaker, Dr. Abhishek Balsami Kamaraj, Assistant Professor, Industrial and Manufacturing Engineering Department, Kettering University, USA. And also the other technical resource persons, Dr. Nitya Ramachandran from Sultanate of Women and CS Sudhir, founder and CEO from Bangalore, and Mr. R. Subramanian, CEO from Instafit Apparels, Erode. I wholeheartedly thank each and everyone for your kind acceptance to be a resource person for today's conference. The cooperation and the coordination in every participant and organizer are highly appreciated. My dear students, today you're all privileged to have an opportunity to listen to the talks of the resourceful speakers on the wonderful topic cryptocurrency. Last but not least, I would like to wish everyone present here to have a memorable and valuable time today of this conference. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The joyful heart sees and reads the world with a sense of freedom and graciousness. It's our pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to our keynote speaker, Dr. Abhishek Balsami Kamaraj, Assistant Professor, Industrial and Manufacturing Engineering Department, Kettering University, USA. Welcome, sir. May I take the honor of inviting Dr. Abhishek Balsami Kamaraj, sir, to deliver the keynote address. Please, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I'm going to be sharing my screen now, so hopefully you can see that. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for inviting me here. I would like to thank Dr. Renuka Devi and Dr. Jayanti for the wonderful introduction. Welcome to my talk today on Industry 4.0. I'm going to be talking about the next industrial revolution and how its influence on the monetary system. My name is Abhishek Kamaraj. I'm an assistant professor at the Industrial and Manufacturing Engineering Department here at Kettering University. This is in Flint, Michigan, the United States. It's an honor to be part of this conference that's happening at Vellala College for Women. It's wonderful to be giving this talk to aspiring young women. So let's get started. So before moving forward, a little bit background about myself. I have about 11 years of experience in advanced manufacturing. My PhD research was on a process, a new way to 3D print metals, and I have 5 years teaching experience here at Kettering University and previously in my master's university, which is at University of Cincinnati, and also at BITS Pilani, which is where I got my undergrad degree. Now, when Dr. Renuka Devi asked me to talk about cryptocurrency, I'm a manufacturing engineering professor. That's what my research is. So I was thinking about how to merge these new technology, which is cryptocurrency, with some of the industrial engineering and manufacturing engineering background that I have. So hang in with me. This is going to be a little bit about an history talk where I'm going to be talking about Industry 4.0, which refers to the fourth industrial revolution. This is a term that was coined by some German scientists recently, some time back in 2015, and it refers to what they claim that we are right now in the middle of an industrial revolution. So talking about the fourth industrial revolution, I wanted to take us back a little bit and talk about the first industrial revolution. So the first industrial revolution started in the late 1700s and early 1800s, right? So this was at the start of the steam power. We were getting weaving loom, so mechanized loom and mechanization. So this was at the start of the industrialization. This is when people stopped making things by hand, right? So manufacturing actually means making things by hand. So stopped making things by hand and started making things with the help of machines, with the help of mechanization. So that was the first industrial revolution. This happened, the center of gravity, or the place where all the innovation was happening mostly, was in Europe, especially in the United Kingdom. And that allowed them to be the world leaders, right? So that was the first industrial revolution. You see the examples of a weaving loom and steam engine. And then moving forward, we have the second industrial revolution. This happened during the late 1800s and also the early 1900s. This is when we have mass production happening. We have the assembly line. The famous story is about Henry Ford, right? So Henry Ford saw how the meatpacking industry was using the assembly line to mass produce meat and food. And then he translated that to the manufacturing facility for his car. And then that's when you have your Ford motor vehicles. So Henry Ford started Ford Motor Vehicles, and you have the assembly line. And this was in the early 1900s. So now you can see that the first industrial revolution happened in the United Kingdom. The British were the leaders there. The second industrial revolution happened in the United States, specifically the East Coast and the Midwest. So this was a very prosperous time. And this was also the time when Edison invented, electricity was becoming more prevalent, and Edison invents the bulb, and people were switching to electrical energy from steam power. So that was the second industrial revolution. This was another period of rapid growth, right? And then moving forward, we go to the third industrial revolution, which some believe has ended around 2000, right? So the third industrial revolution involved automation. It involved computers and electronics. So we have your, the first personal computers coming in the 80s. Other examples include electronics being used everywhere. So believe it or not, there was electronics in the Apollo missions, right? So 1969, when the Apollo rockets were sent to the moon, there were some electronics in there. But these days we have our cell phones with better electronics. But it wasn't a revolution. We had more automated assembly lines. So now you see that people have been replaced with industrial robotic arms. Electronics became much more prevalent. You have television and news, everything spread out, right? And so this ends about 2000, right before the internet revolution or the data revolution, which is what these days we are calling the Industry 4.0 or the fourth industrial revolution. This includes cyber physical systems. So if you are familiar with augmented reality, virtual reality, so what do we mean by that? If you this is Facebook or Meta these days, you can wear goggles on your head, and then you can use your phone as a virtual reality companion. You can take your phone and get information from sensors in the world. So you can see here, this young lady there is controlling those robotic arms based with something like a video game, right? And there is Internet of Things. There is lots of networks and sensors And these are all parts of the technologies involved in Industry 4.0. And the belief is that we are still in the middle of this industrial revolution. Examples of some of the technologies that are in this Industry 4.0 framework are, as I mentioned, augmented reality, wearables, but also multi-level customer interaction, customer profiling. We see this, right? So we scroll through Instagram and then we like something, or we scroll through Facebook, we like something, and then we get those product placement ads on our social media platforms. So that's computer analysis, and that's a lot of data that these companies are analyzing. So there's an advancement in big data. There's smart sensors. So all of us have smart sensors or smart watches with us right now. So you have GPS and accelerometers and everything, but also you can think of smart sensors as your car now being able to detect a car in front of it, right? And LiDAR and radar technology. 3D printing, additive manufacturing, which is what my research is also part of this. But more relevant to this talk is this part: authentication and fraud detection. So the fourth industrial revolution is actually centered on digital business models, right? Everything is digital. Everything is online, and you're doing things on the cloud. You have mobile devices that are all connected using 5G, right? 5G is considered revolutionary. 4G was not considered revolutionary, but 5G is considered revolutionary. The reason for that is when you're doing 5G can actually replace wired connections, right? So during the third industrial revolution, if you wanted a secure internet connection or secure network, you generally used a wired connection. But 5G can offer you the same secure, low latency technology. So that's why it's revolutionary, right? So mobile devices with 5G, cloud computing, Internet of Things platforms, these are all, so everything involves data analytics as a core capability. And whenever there is data, there is an issue with authentication and fraud detection. And this comes to cybersecurity, right? So security is a big deal. In the olden days, when we were transferring technology from one place to another place, you were using paper documents, right? And then moving paper document from one place to another place, you can secure it, you can lock it, you can close it. It'll be in your shelf, it'll be in your locker, it'll be in your bank, and that's safe. But these days with digital, everything is digital, everything is digitized, right? In that case, then how do we ensure the security? And that's where cryptocurrency comes in. And let me talk about that a little later. But before that, why do revolutions matter, right? What is the point of understanding history? Well, the thing is, history keeps repeating itself. So this is an example of the gross domestic product. So that is a economics criteria. This is per capita, so it's GDP for the country divided by the population. And you can see that in the 1700s and early 1800s, you'll see that the blue line, which belongs to British, which is Britain, the United Kingdom, has the lead. So the United Kingdom here has the lead, and you can also see that India and China are not so far behind, right? But Britain is the world leader when it comes to as an economic power. And why is that? The reason for that, I would say, is because the first industrial revolution was centered in the United Kingdom. They had the best navy. And why did they have the best navy? Because they invented the steam power, and their navy was the strongest. They were able to conquer the entire world. And then that power, that military power, allowed them to conquer the new world, America, and also the old world, which includes India. And then the advantage that they got there from being the leaders of the industry, the first industrial revolution, was they were able to source cotton from India. They'll take it to Britain. They will use the mechanizations. We talked about mechanization and the weaving loom, right? So they had automated looms, whereas in India we were still doing hand looms. Or so hand looms, whereas they were doing it in mechanized way. So, and then they were selling their clothes, textile that was made using Indian cotton, back to India, right? And that's how they became rich. And the reason they were rich was because they were in the frontier for innovation. They were embracing the industrial revolution. Moving forward a little bit, when the second industrial revolution was happening, you will see that another country caught up, and that is the United States of America. And the sole reason, one major reason, is the second industrial revolution happened in the United States. Electricity was prevalent. The assembly line was pioneered here, and the US was making the most cars. And during the World War I and World War II, the car factories were converted to airplane factories and tank factories, and the US produced most aircrafts and the US was the factory of the world, right? And that enabled the US to overtake the United Kingdom, because the second industrial revolution happened in the United States. And then moving forward, the third industrial revolution was also happening in the United States. This was the Silicon Revolution, the Silicon Valley and all the boom. And the United States was able to keep its lead. But as you can see, this is not an updated graph. This is an old graph, 2008. If you see now, the US graph will be here. But which among these countries, and you can also see that India and China are catching up now and they're growing. But which among these countries is going to lead the effort for the fourth industrial revolution? That matters, and that is the country which will be the world leader. So it is important that we understand industrial revolutions, and we also understand how it affects our policies, right? Now, how does this all, I want to circle back to cryptocurrency, and how does this relate to money, and what do we mean by money of the future? And so talking about the history of money, money started off as the barter system, right? So someone has fish and another person has a meat, and then we use the barter system, and then we exchange goods. So that is how the first trade happened, and money was just a convenient way to handle these things. So from the barter system, we moved on to using coins and gold and other precious metals, shells and pearls and all of those commodities as money, as something that has value. So we moved from the barter system to a gold system. And then from gold, we then also moved to coins. And then we had our kings and queens minting these coins, right? So this was right at the start, or right before the Industrial Revolution, the first Industrial Revolution. We were using gold and pearls and diamonds and rubies as currencies. Some people also used like exotic items, shells that you cannot find at other places, sometimes salt as a currency. But since the Industrial Revolution, coins and also moving forward, paper money so became more prevalent as currency. But the thing about and one major reason why countries moved from using commodities such as gold or nickel or copper or brass as coins, brass coins. So this is actually a 1849 dollar, which was made out of solid gold. So the United States $1 was and that was the equivalent weight gold for it. Until the 1930s, the US dollar was directly backed by a corresponding amount of gold, right? But these days, most of our paper money is actually not backed by gold. It is backed by the Federal Reserve, or in the case of India, it is backed by the Reserve Bank of India. So that is essentially moving away from the gold standard. So we started off by bartering, and then we moved to precious items which we believe we had value, like gold, and then we moved on to coins, and then from there we then moved on to paper money. So these days, if you carefully read the text of the money, it will say that the government of India, or the United States government, whichever money you have, is guaranteeing the holder 100 rupees or $1, right? So it is actually backed by the government and not gold. So we are not dealing with gold anymore. And another reason for going to paper was actually this change. Accelerated paper money was there since ancient times, when the Chinese, who invented the paper, had paper money. But mass productions of paper was achieved only after the Second Industrial Revolution, when manufacturing of paper became cheap, and you can also have some security associated with it. So all of you know that at least in the Indian rupee, we have a silver line that goes there. You have a watermark, things like that. So that's an added security feature, so that no common person can actually print that paper, right? So that's the security aspect of it. With respect to gold and money like that, then obviously the commodity itself has value. But then this industrial revolution, the second industrial revolution, enabled the cheap production of paper, which then facilitated moving more towards the paper money. And then moving forward, during the third industrial revolution, which I talked about, where we had computers and electronics and automation, this is when we started moving towards digital money. So back in the 1950s is when the first Diners Club card was started. I don't think we have Diners Club anymore, but that was the first credit card, right? So this was a system where money or transactions were becoming digital because of computers. Previously, before that, you had your bank account and there were ledgers, and you had to write ledgers, and then someone has to write a check or a money order or cash, right? That was how transactions were happening. That was how trade was happening. But now, with the advent of digital computers, the 1950s, we had our first credit card, and then moving forward, every major bank started offering credit cards and debit cards. And then we had plastic money, right? So, but we still had cash around, because not everyone had a computer or had a device in their hand which they can use to get money. And then today, what we have is we have Google Pay, we have in the US, we have Cash App, Venmo. I guess in India, there's RuPay and then GPay. And there are a lot of digital currencies, or digital, not necessarily digital currencies, but digital ways of transferring rupee, right? Digital ways of transferring money. And now you don't even need a card swiping machine to transfer the money. You can transfer money on a text. You can transfer money with mobile banking. You can transfer money with near field communication, Apple Pay, Google Pay. So all of these digital transactions are all enabled. And these are enabled today because of some of these Industry 4.0 technologies. But they are always susceptible to security risk, right? If you have gold in your home, you can lock it, you can put it in a locker. If you have cash, you can still hold it, put it in a locker, or put it in a bank, and then you know that the bank is securing it for you. With a credit card, if you lose a credit card, you call the bank, you tell them, I lost my credit card, and they'll cancel your credit card and your money is secure. But these digital transactions, how are they kept secure? Now, that is a big issue. There are several $1 billion being lost because of cybersecurity scams these days. And it is that is a big issue, especially, but we cannot run away from it, right? As I mentioned, we are in the middle of the next industrial revolution, which involves cyber systems. It involves Internet of Things. It involves big data. It involves network. All of us have a cell phone. All of us are connected to this big hive of the internet. So where do we go further? And that's one answer. And I don't know if this is the right answer, is your digital currency or your cryptocurrency, right? So we have your Bitcoins and Dogecoins and all of these cryptocurrencies. The biggest selling point of these cryptocurrencies is the transparency and security. So the ledgers are open for everyone to see, especially in Bitcoins. The way I understand it is that it's all completely transparent. So all the transactions are above the book, right? But the downside of the transparency is you actually don't know who has how much money. So some people like that, but others don't like that, especially governments. This is really tough for government because the cryptocurrencies, by definition, is really secure. So even the government cannot know how much money someone has. So it's really tricky to regulate, and I believe the Indian government is coming up with ways to regulate. The US is also taxing cryptocurrency these days, but obviously there's no way someone can figure out how much money you have in a properly designed cryptocurrency. So for example, Ethereum or Bitcoin. So maybe that is the way of the future. The issue is our transactions are all going to be digital, and cryptocurrency offers one way of securing it with the blockchain technology that I know many of the speakers coming later will be talking about. So blockchain is also one of those technologies in the Industry 4.0 ambit. So, but that is where the world is heading, and I hope we are able to have a more secure way of transacting our money in the future, and maybe Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is one way towards it. But one thing that we need to understand from history is we don't want history to repeat itself, right? And we don't want to be lagging behind when it comes to the next industrial revolution. And the next industrial revolution is definitely going to be a digital one. And we need to embrace it, in my opinion, and learn to be on top of it. And yeah, so that's my talk. I hope I gave some insights into the history of cryptocurrency and how it relates to Industry 4.0, which is the next industrial revolution of which we are part of right now. That is it. Thank you for inviting me. It's an honor and privilege to be talking to all of you. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you. Are there any questions? I guess everybody is muted, so
Sir.
I'm not able to.
Sir, any idea which type of cryptocurrency will be a popular, maybe in US or in India, like that?
That's a great question. To be honest, I'm not. I think it's more of a guessing game for now, Bitcoin and Ethereum seem to be the oldest, so they are getting popular, but they are very volatile. There are some governments which are backing Bitcoin, so I guess Bitcoin seems to be the most stable one for now. I have myself personally not invested in cryptocurrencies, and I'm a little skeptical on them right now, especially with the rates fluctuating all the time. So I'm so sorry, but I don't know. I cannot give financial advice on that, I think, but I believe we might have in the future, like 10 years from now, a cryptocurrency version of the rupee, which is backed by the government of India, or a cryptocurrency version of the dollar, which is backed by the government of the United States, right? So I think there is still a lot of change that's going to happen in the industry, especially when it comes to crypto. And that's a great question, to which, to be honest, I don't know the answer. But if you wanted me to choose, I would maybe choose Bitcoin as the number one right now, and that's what is the most popular one right now. Thank you.
So thank you, sir. Any question from the audience? Audience, you can raise your questions now.
May I know how many students are there in the audience? I guess with the virtual thing, I could not actually see the audience. So.
Sir, students are present in the auditorium. They're watching to YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's great.
Now we try to show them his weights. Sir, can you able to view, sir?
Oh, yes, I can see them.
Okay.
Oh, that's great. That's a big crowd. Any questions? And I'm an engineering professor, so I had to relate it to Industry 4.0 and manufacturing. But hopefully that was helpful. And yeah, any questions?
Sir, actually, yes, the topic is new one. I find it difficult to raise questions.
I know. Well, it is. It is a pretty new one. And everybody is actually figuring out, right? So there's not a lot of experts when it comes to cryptocurrency, and but it's something that we need to understand. And I'm really glad that you are organizing something related to this, so that the students are exposed to the new technology.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So thank you, sir, for your presentation. So, your presentation was indeed motivating and extremely informative in the way you link the industry and the finance. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So, let us begin with technical session 1.
Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is a progress. Working together is a success. I accord a genial welcome to our resource person for technical session 1, Dr. Nithya Ramachandran, Faculty, Department of Business Studies and Coordinator, Research and Consultancy Committee, University of Technology and Applied Sciences, IBRA, Sultanate of Oman. Welcome, madam. Now let me invite Dr. C. Brinda to introduce our resource person. Please, ma'am.
Respected Secretary and Correspondent, Madam Principal, most adorable guests of honor, amiable colleagues, faculty members from other institutions, and my dear students. A courtesy good morning to all. On behalf of PG and Research Department of Commerce, I deem it a great privilege to welcome our distinguished special guest, Dr. Nithya Ramachandran, Faculty, Department of Business Studies, and Coordinator and Research and Consultancy Committee, University of Technology and Applied Sciences, Sultanate of Oman, for the technical session 1 of the international conference. Her research interest includes corporate governance, sustainable accountability, entrepreneurship, working capital management, and quality assurance. She has put in service more than 18 years of experience in teaching. She also shared her experience as keynote speaker, chairperson in various international seminars and conferences. She is also associated with various journals as a reviewer and an ad hoc reviewer of International Journal of Business Intelligent Research and IGI Global. She has received funds of OMR 900 from the Research Council for her project on fostering tourism sector in Sharjah region, an analytical study during the year 2017-18. Moreover, she is a lady with strong vigor and passion. I am very much happy to welcome such a wonderful personality. Welcome, ma'am. Ma'am, we are very much eager to get clarified whether cryptocurrencies are the future of money or it is a speculative investment. I now request Madam to deliberate on the theme of technical session 1. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Brinda. Now I request Dr. Nithya Ramachandran to deliver a speech on cryptocurrencies, the future of money or a speculative investment. Please, madam. Nithya ma'am, kindly unmute.
Good morning to one and all. Am I audible now?
Yeah, madam.
Yes. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my own department, my own staff members, my seniors who are all colleagues now. For giving me this opportunity to be a part of this wonderful conference. So the person who has spoke to us earlier, I was very interested to hear from him more about Industry 4.0, where we have learned more about the engineering side of cryptocurrency. So such kind of conferences actually brings confidence in students. So actually, when you showed the view of the auditorium, I felt like as though I'm sitting there as a student. So that was all a wonderful experience when I have spent almost 9 years in this excellent institution and actually missing all those days now. So being here, even though life is more critical, missing family and other things, having virtual contact with my own professors, my college, the building, even my seniors, Dr. Sangeeta ma'am, Dr. Brinda ma'am, everybody. So I'm so fortunate enough to be in front of you all, at least in this virtual mode. Hopefully, we will meet sometime physically when I come down to India. So, without any further delay, I always have a question when it comes to investment. So, when we see that we talk about finance, we teach accounting, but sometimes we always have a question whether we will take up investment in cryptocurrencies or not. A few months before, like a group of my colleagues here, we have an association with a research committee from UK where we undertook to write a book chapter where it was a common publication which came out through Willy Publications. There, our topic was about cryptocurrencies and also the modern days financial services, what the banks are offering. For that, we were getting in touch with a cryptocurrency agent who is called Helena. She works in Ireland. When she was talking to me, she says that always Indians are very capable of deciding a proper financial structure. You have a proper set of savings. You people aim for something big in the future for your children. So the way when she expressed her opinion on an Indian family, really I felt happy how people from outside are watching us, what we are doing. Even here, generally, when we come out of India, we don't find people having savings mentality. But when it is particularly from our place, we always think about what will happen after 10 years, 15 years, what we are going to save for our children. But when we see the western part of the world, even here, I don't see people who are in regular savings. But we are born and brought up in such an environment where we always consider savings and some assets for our children that will be the future of for them. And even though we are aware that that will not be sufficient for them for their entire life, but whatever we are today, we still earn, save, and do everything for our children, and we don't have the habit of enjoyment that actually we are missing. So when she was talking to me about would you like to invest in cryptocurrency, the first answer I gave her was I don't want to take risk on the minimum savings what I have. I have an only daughter and I want to save that money for her. I don't want to take risk on such kind of investment. And she gave me around 15 pages of a PDF document, and she told me to read that, and then you will come back to me whether such kind of investment will be actually beneficial for the future, maybe in the near future sometime, or like just give a try. So when I read through the document, actually I felt, why should I not? Even though I am not going to invest a bigger amount, I will just try something, like how initially share markets and all were very new to us. But later on, we had the guts to make a minimum amount of investment in such shares, at least a safer investment, even though we don't prefer equity shares. We at least go for debenture capital, we go for a government bond, So something of minimum investment we were able to do, at least through mutual fund schemes. So it took years together for us to understand that this is going to be a little bit profitable, even though we will not expect a huge amount of profit. Then later on, we were able to understand the flow of the stock market. We were able to gain knowledge on what is the right time to make investment, what is the right time to sell an investment. So that took some time. So same way, cryptocurrency, the word is actually not new. When we see the first digital currency was introduced in 1990. We would have never heard this word of digicash when we were actually living in 1990. We would have, like most of us, we wouldn't have thought about digital cash. But the study of cryptocurrency, that means the first digital currency was actually introduced in the year 1990. And even though Bitcoin was introduced in the year 2008, still we are not very much interested into such kind of investment, because we don't have confidence to put our savings into an investment where we don't have a security of our funds that we invest. But when we see certain people who are ready to take risk, then sometimes they go wrong, yes, but there are people who are very much successful in that. In that case, what we are supposed to do, we have to repeatedly see what is happening on our particular investment. Are we on the right track? Are we using the investment on a proper way? Are we choosing a proper investment? Is this the right time to give away? Is this the right time to get into the investment? All that technicalities are actually much needed. So Bitcoin, as we know, but when we talk about cryptocurrencies, actually we have the top three in the list, where Bitcoin stays in the number one place as of now. Then Ethereum, one more Ripple we have, and we have Litecoin and all that. But these three actually has a very big role in holding its market capitalization. So when we talk about Bitcoin, it was such a big document of 9 pages, 9-page paper, which was a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. This was how Bitcoin was created in the year 2008. But when we see how cryptocurrencies are going to combine several characteristics, where we need technology, we need financial experts, we need an opportunity to invest in the assets, then also computer scientists, venture capitalists, it is not actually an easy job to bring in cryptocurrency into the market. Actually, we need support of so many distinct people who can work. Just like we can compare share market, like it's not understanding of one single person. It's a mix of different experts who are from different fields, and they work on for the development of a particular share market or on a particular company's stocks and all. So here, like even though we are using so many characteristics in building up cryptocurrency, there were several problems. That is what we are, as an investor, I see into what problem the cryptocurrency will have. The major in the top in the list is decentralization. That is, they don't have a proper financial regulation. So if now we are going to invest money in our bank or in a stock market, we have a proper financial system which is regulating. We have a government which is giving us security on that kind of investment. But here, most of the governments are actually not considering cryptocurrency as their regulated financial transaction element. That is a major drawback where an investor is not interested in taking up cryptocurrency as their investment. So when we see uh, cryptocurrency and its market capitalization, actually from 2008 and until today, we can see that many of them have actually tried to make investment. That's what we should say, like not out of interest, but out of curiosity. This is something new, let us give it a try. So in that case also, they have seen like the levels of acceptance by the public has been increased from the time when it was introduced and what is it today. So now, like, it has actually attracted people. And these are the list of cryptocurrencies which are actually gaining popularity. Out of this, only three we are very much aware. The first one is Bitcoin, as until now, it has the highest market capitalization. Then comes Litecoin, even though it was introduced in 2011, it did not have much of acceptance from the public because of certain regulations, what that particular like eligibility criteria, what they had. Then Ripple, again, now this stands in the third place, and Ethereum is now in the second place. The concept of developing cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and Ethereum are opposite. We will later discuss about those two words. What is the concept behind building up this Bitcoins and even all the four we are going to look into. So what is a global overview of cryptocurrency? What actually happened in the initial days when digital currency came into existence? So we all know actually this was first brought up by Western countries, most especially European countries. The government was actually ready to accept such a virtual currency. The major difficulty was for example, you buy something from a shop, you are going to pay it in cryptocurrency, but the calculation of the value of the product actually is done in US dollars. So somewhere using cryptocurrency, we need the support of our physical currency, what we are using. So that case, it is actually not into 100% usage until all the countries, all the governments are able to accept this, bring it into the financial regulation, and almost security issues, everything has to be considered by the government. So here the European Central Bank actually, they released a report on virtual currency schemes. And they said that the type of unregulated digital money which is issued and will be usually controlled by its developers. This is where the drawback of cryptocurrency actually is. Normal banking system, normal stock market, we have a proper regulatory to check our risk in the investment. So here, if Bitcoin is developed, the developer has the access, or he has the proper access to all the requirements of that particular system. And it is not submitted to any of the government bodies, or any government regulated organizations do not take up that charge of maintaining the values of the cryptocurrencies. That is why we always are scared about the electronically created currencies. Is it safer to use it in our day-to-day activities? One-time investment, or we are regularly going to invest money, that's fine, because that's one part of our work. But when we look into the day-to-day activities, will we be able to use it for our daily business activities? So that case, still, it's a big question mark. Now, cryptocurrencies are actually stated a word called digital assets. Like we have gold as a digital asset, silver as a digital asset. Sometimes we even accept that because, as you all know, like the gold market of Dubai, even though it has a physical market, the digital asset market also has a higher value. The investment in such digital assets are also higher. So that case we are able to accept. But what about currency? Even then we are not ready. Like even financial experts sometimes do not recommend such kind of investments. Like there are many techniques that will have to have a communication with the third parties, for which we are all not actually ready to open up ourselves to move into the world of digital currency. Might be slowly, it will take time for us to understand that this is going to be our next part and this is going to be the next financial element in our near future. So for that also we need to have little bit of understanding. So the new cryptocurrencies are still unregulated, yet they are not being registered as a legal tender. In US, in few of the European countries, of course, they are using it as a legal tender. As I said before, the calculations on the value of the product is still made in US dollars. So in that case, still cryptocurrency has not taken its full fledged way of coming into the market. So here we have to also understand that the real currency, until the time when we are going to understand the that this kind of usage of digital currency is not going to affect us in any way. So for that we need freedom to use. We need a proper regulation to keep us with a risk-free element. So then it will be easy for us to better understand that cryptocurrency is going to be successful. The major thing what we have to see is the technical aspects. So we will see how is that development of a cryptocurrency that a particular company is doing in the later part. Normally the cryptocurrency characteristics as seen before, digital currency, digital assets, we don't have a proper regulatory system. All this we are aware. Now the most important word, mining, this is where the development of cryptocurrency actually happens. So this is actually a process how the transactions are transferred into blockchain and then it is converted into the usage form of digital currency. So proof of work, this is an element what Bitcoin actually uses. When we see Ethereum, they use a different model. So normally other versions of cryptocurrency like Ripple, Litecoin, Bitcoin, everybody uses proof of work method. So this will verify whether each block is being handled by proper security. And when I want to transfer my Bitcoin to another person, so only one time I have a chance to apply for the transfer, and this block is transferred to another person, and the same block number will not be continued with the same person. So if I'm going to do for the second time, already transaction is done in block 1, so I am not eligible to use block 1 again. So such kind of restrictions are there, which are actually highly secured reasons. But even then, when it comes to the later part, when we talk about blockchain, it is actually a bigger concept, which is part of using and developing of cryptocurrencies, where this actually when we see the security part of it, it's fine. But later on, how it has been handled, is it been set up only in my name when I do my investment, or the percentage of volatility what this currency is having, that is all actually not supporting an investor to have this as the main source of investment of the full hard earned savings what an investor will have. So let us first understand what will be the pros and cons of cryptocurrency. Actually, when we see the first item, what is given as an advantage part is the freedom of using cryptocurrency. Like there is no governing authority. Nobody is going to charge for anything. Like for example, a bank transaction, even if money transfer is maybe made internally, like local currency or an international transfer anywhere, we are paying a bit to the bank that is doing that particular service to us. But here it is not there. That's what is the major freedom that we have. But when we see in the difficulty part, we will have an opposite answer for this freedom also. Then high like portability. This is actually a very interesting part, that we need not carry money. Of course, even today we have literally come down in the way in which we carried money in our earlier days. So those days, even from bank, if we have to withdraw, like the full monthly expenses has to be drawn. We cannot go to the bank every day to use our to go for our transactions. But now for anything and everything, even if we want to spend like here maybe 100 paisa, which means like around 20 rupees of Indian currency, even that one we are not using cash. So all places we are using our cards, and now we have that digital cash anywhere, anytime. So many advancements are there. So even this one part, we consider it as high portability of cryptocurrencies. And the third one, safety and control. So even though there is less security aspects, the first part of the blockchain, actually, to my understanding, I felt it is secured. But later on, when the transaction is further processed, I felt that it still needs much more security, because that part I was not happy, as I told you in the beginning, when we had discussion with the proper cryptocurrency handling agency. Like when we were discussing, I was not happy. But when she was explaining about blockchain, I felt, okay, fine. There is some security when we do investment, and when we are actually starting with the process, everything is fine. So that way, safety and control is always there. And almost like all our passwords, everything, we are holding our account details with us. And even if we need to transfer, it takes proper agreeing terms and all, then only it continues with the transfer. Next one is transparent and neutral. Then the most unique aspect of cryptocurrency is the blockchain technology. So this allows like every single transaction and every single bit of information is actually shared with the user and with the developer. Now, for example, when we compare this with our normal banking system, so in banks, we have a regulation that the bank should not share the details of a customer to any of the third party. The bank knows all our financial transaction. It should not share this information to any third party unless the customer agrees to that. But here we don't have such kind of regulation. The developer is like a banker, let us understand. So if the developer knows how much money I have invested, to whom I have transferred, what is my plan, like I'm always looking into that, and I'm planning to move my blocks to another person. So the developer is guessing what is my next step. So such kind of security is what I am actually suspecting when we talk about blockchain technology. And so here, the most popular ways is the counterfeiting in the digital world, that is using same money twice. So that part actually, we still need to understand more clearly how the transactions are being done. Then might be we will be more interested in understanding and making investment in cryptocurrencies. Now moving to the difficulty part, that is the legal parameters. As we all know, there is no legal aspects related to cryptocurrency. We can go to the court of law, but the questions are still unanswered. That is what we have seen in these many years of like introduction of cryptocurrency. So some of them actually encourage. The government itself is giving like some assurance that okay, you can try to make investment. But there are still countries where they have a proper ban. So even here we don't have that freedom of making investment. Now, if I'm going to transfer my savings here into my Bitcoin account, then my bank is actually advising me, what is your problem? This is actually banned in the region. And why do you want to use it? So you have other choices of investment. Why don't you consider those options? So please don't take risk. This is what actually the advice what they give us. But still might be time only can show us a brighter future of cryptocurrency. Moving to the most important difficulty part is the volatility. And this is like our normal demand supply concept. But when we see sometimes the cycles are like skyrocket prices. And sometimes when we see like suddenly it is at the lower level and we don't know what is our fate if we are going to make investment. We use a word called bubble. We are going to see it in the later part. So that is again one more financial element what we should understand when we are actually planning for an investment in cryptocurrency. And the last one is development. That is still the programs are being developed. As we know, like technology is every day something new is coming. So there should be every time those experts are giving us some new ideas, new techniques, and every time we are going to make investment in that. So slowly it has to come to a full picture. Then only it will be easy for people to create confidence in that and then go for investment. So sometimes when we read all those documents, what those people give us, we still feel that it is still in the development stage. Until technology is developing, this segment also will be keeping on developing. We will get still more security, still more regulations or confidence on the investor to see this as a proper pattern of investment. So now we will see all the four dominating cryptocurrencies. Actually, like when Bitcoin actually was introduced in the year 2008, but later on it actually came into existence in working existence in the year 2009, when it was first decentralized cryptocurrency. The second one was the Litecoin, which actually came up in the year 2011, April 2011. And today, apart from these four, there are hundreds of cryptocurrencies which are traded, something only inside the country, something like international transfers, all these are happening. So such kind of new cryptocurrencies actually has emerged after the year 2011. And like even today, these four, what was mentioned earlier, are actually having the highest market share. And we have one more, that is Dash. Actually, that is not very famous, even though they came up in the year 2018. Due to the technical difficulties, they were not able to hold with the initial market share which they actually gained. That's what is the full history of that particular type of Bitcoin actually says. Now, to make an investment, actually, when we have to compare this cryptocurrency market with our normal stock market. So when we plan to make an investment to buy a stock, we will see how does it work. At least basic understanding of the stock market is what is needed for an investor. So without even knowing what is that, we are not ready to invest our money. Even though it is a safer mutual fund investment, we need to understand how is that process happening. Then only it will be easier for us either to explain to our family members or even for our own the concept of making our money into another form of investment. So first we will understand how does Bitcoin actually work. So what do the developers need? They need a computer, they need a software, ASIC, application specific integrated circuit. So this is a software that what they need to create Bitcoin using a process called mining. That is what we have seen already. So blockchain connected to mining, which is connected to the software of application specific integrated circuit, which is done using a computer. So the basic requirement is a computer, that's all, which additions to that is what are the mentioned softwares. So now as finance people, we don't always like, I personally don't like in learning about technology, how much I will see into technology part, how much is needed for my financial expertise, or how much I will use it in my work or in my investment. That much of technology, if I'm able to know, I'm fine with it. But still, there are many other things we need to understand before we choose a particular cryptocurrency. So here, they believe that the value is not on the cryptocurrency itself. The value actually lies in the blockchain technology. This is the main concept what the cryptocurrency has actually developed. The blockchain technology is an instrumentation which actually applies three different technologies. One is the private key cryptography, distributed network, then incentive to service the network transaction. Let us see an example how to understand this blockchain technology. For example, I want to send some money to, let us keep my senior Dr. Sangeeta. If I want to send some money to her, my Bitcoin to her, so I publish my intention and the node scans the entire Bitcoin network. It will validate and it will check whether I have that value of cryptocurrency in my block. And then the amount is being sent and the opposite person should have to accept. And that for example, once I've sent my block, now either becomes empty or it becomes partial amount is only left in my block. Now I have to, if I have not sent already, then I can still wait for some more days for me to transfer this currency to another person. Now, out of 50, I'm transferring 20 to Dr. Sangeeta. Then 30 is left behind. Now, only this 30, I am able to use it again. This part of technology actually is highly secured. That is how they are creating blocks, and each person can have multiple blocks. So I can have 10, 100, 200 blocks in my name, where I will be having added values of cryptocurrencies in that. So either I can partially transfer or I can fully transfer, and they give us assurance that I am not coming back to the same block to transfer the same money again. That surety is there with the security what this blockchain is actually developing. Now, when it is redoing the work, actually it blocks that person's ID. It will say that you have no balance here, or your balance, you cannot transfer 50, your available balance is only 30 with you. So such kind of security options are actually available. So this is a positive segment of using cryptocurrencies. And here, this is actually coming out through the process of mining. And actually mining is a complex mathematical problem where they are using it through the computer and the software ASIC. And like how the bank is charging us for our holding of credit cards, holding of our debit cards, like what our ledger fees, so many fees they deduct charges from us. So same way to hold an account on cryptocurrency also, the Bitcoin actually charges fees, plus there is a transaction fees. Now you can connect the positive sides. When we saw pros, there we saw that there is portability, there is no much of expenses. So now it is actually not proving us that there is no transaction fees. Actually, there is a transaction fees here also. And that transaction fees is what it goes to the developer. Obviously, for us in a normal financial transaction, that charges goes to the bank. Here it goes to the developer. So both places that is there. Now, moving to the second one, that is Ethereum. When we saw there earlier, we saw a word called proof of work. So only this is the second model of crypto coin which uses proof of stake. So this idea is actually far different from what Bitcoin is using. So now to understand whether this is safer or proof of work is safer, actually both are equal complications are there, equal securities are there. We cannot decide which one is best serving. It depends on our like the time in which we are going to make investment. Other security aspects, more or less, both models are actually same. Actually, the first developed one was proof of work. Proof of stake is actually later developed model of bringing up nothing but developing a cryptocurrency. So here when we see both are the security sides are normally same. We don't find big differences. So this is actually a global currency benchmarking study, which was conducted by the University of Cambridge. The report stated that even though Ethereum was developed and introduced in the year 2015, this holds the second place in the market because of because this and the Bitcoin are more or less equal. in terms of security, in terms of the transaction charges, in terms of bringing confidence on the investors, in terms how it has taken to the public to make them understand that this is same like the Bitcoin. Always the marketing strategy actually works here also. So now when this was announced, this was the second largest cryptocurrency in terms of market capitalization, and how it was described as decentralized computing platform which features its own turning complete programming language. So there they were using ASIC software. So here this is turning computer programming language. So something related to technology. We cannot go much into that. I am not a techie person, more into finance and very little bit on technology. So in this, the blockchain records, scripts or contracts are run, executed by every participating node, and they are actively through payments with the native currency called Ether. So here also they use blockchain technology. There also it is blockchain technology. So how these two are different? The Ethereum actually uses several methods of exchanging, like smart contracts, virtual machine transfer, EVM, like our ATM, they are using a concept called EVM, Ethereum virtual machine. So this concept is not available in Bitcoin. So that is the only major difference that we can find. So here, this, as we have seen, it is POS, proof of stake, and there it was proof of work. That are the two technical differences also what we have. Now, for example, an average block time for Ethereum is actually less than Bitcoin. This is the financial aspect what we have to understand. The time limit of creating a block. So here it is 12 seconds. For Bitcoin, it is 10 minutes. So you can find the difference in the technology aspect. So to create a block, here in this type of cryptocurrency, they take only 12 seconds. But there it will take around 10 minutes. And here, once it is done, it will translate it to the language of the developer and it will give confirmation. And here also they use the technique called mining. So almost more or less it is same. One is proof of work, proof of stake, then timing, then also other security reasons. The third one in the market is Ripple. So it is actually a part of the blockchain. And here also they use the same concept, blockchain. But one more addition is the global conscious ledger. This is a new word what they have connected to Ripple. So this was developed in 2012, but it could not attract more investors. No, the reason behind was those people who developed Bitcoin, a part of their developers were involved in developing a new cryptocurrency which was named as Ripple. So with an idea that might be in the future they are going to combine these two businesses, or might be they will still maintain as their competitors. So Ripple also uses the same technology as Bitcoin. And still this is a privately owned company, and they are using a native currency called XRP. That is the currency code what Ripple is using. Even though they were having a higher market capitalization, this could not reach even the second place because of Ethereum. It was still more competitive in its aspects. This does not have a new technology version. Same as Bitcoin, Ripple is also having the same ideology, nothing new. The next one is Litecoin. Now, when we see here the picture of the coins, actually, I have a question. Like, this is all digital currency. Why do you want to have coin? So when it was questioned, everything on paper, people are not ready to accept, in the sense like, okay, written name of the investor, how much money, date, the amount of transaction, right. Now, sometimes the pictorial representation of what we see, what we hold, that adds value to the investor. So when I show the document on a system also, it creates an interest in what is this, how am I going to make investment in this, and that needs a proper logo as a business unit. So many things are there. So Litecoin is also equal to the Bitcoin development. So name also we know Bitcoin, Litecoin. Here also, Bitcoin actually developed Litecoin to make it as a competitive firm, so that others are not actually coming up as a competitor. That's how we have to understand what is Litecoin. So here, the other word what we use for Litecoin, it is called silver coin, because Bitcoin is gold and Litecoin is actually silver coin. Because of the to have equal competition with other elements in the market, they named it as Litecoin. Here also, when we talk about technology, the same mining algorithm, same parameters are being used, and no much different technology. So when we see, starting from Bitcoin, the technology almost stands similar in all the type of elements that are available, except Ethereum. They use a little different technology, but almost the development version of that is same. So even many more coins are actually available, but all of them actually follow that Bitcoin developing idea, that is mining, blockchain, is the same continued later also. Nothing of other than this, what is new coming has not yet been introduced. So even though it might be done, it will be only internally used because of some security reasons. So here it is peer-to-peer internet currency that enables instant, near zero cost payment. So earlier when we saw Bitcoin, there is a proper transaction cost. But here, almost the transaction cost is minimum or sometimes zero. That is the major benefit of investing in a Bitcoin. So here also we are using mathematical formulas, technology, and with industry support, the trade volume, liquidity, Litecoin actually has proved as a medium for the commerce and the trade transactions. So when compared with Bitcoin, Litecoin also has some differences. Like total amount of coin, which is relatively higher on Litecoin, transaction processing speed. Actually, in Litecoin, the speed is less compared to the Bitcoin. Even though like the coin looks lighter, the time taken for the transaction is actually more. The speed of transaction is less, but in Bitcoin, they use a different algorithm where the speed is even more faster. Might be he is there in the market for quite a long time. They are able to develop themselves, and this is actually not very much familiar. The number of transactions usages are less, so accordingly, the development is actually slow. So now, same like our stock market, here also we have a primary market, we have a secondary market. So in the primary market, what do we have? Like our normal initial public offer, we have here ICO, initial coin offering. So this is a primary market concept, initial coin offering. It is a non-regulated mean to raise funds for new cryptocurrency venture. So to understand cryptocurrency market, we have to know the basics of stock market, then this is fine. The same concepts here also we are using. Primary market, secondary market. We know what is that, what we have already knowledgeable on the stock market. The type of funding is used to start up to overcome highly regulated and rigid capital raising processes. And here also there are like financial institutions which actually support the developers. Not only banks, but even private financial institutions are actually providing financial assistance for the developers when it is in the ICO category. Now here, the traders and investors in some way, they are like the same initial public offerings. So they offer high volatility as market comes up with an appropriate price of the asset. So slowly when the prices are moving higher, they gain importance in the market. They are able to cope up with what is happening. So when Ethereum actually announced its opening in the year 2014, the initial coin offering was raised to more than 18 million US dollars. So this was their first ICO segment, more than 18 million US dollars. So later in the year 2015, when it actually came into usage, they were able to reach around the price of a coin. Their market capitalization was around 1 billion US dollars. So that much of market segment they were able to take up. And those days also they were getting support from normal financial institutions to come into existence into the primary market. So here the growth of cryptocurrencies actually depends on companies, individuals who are actually trying to start a new business. Venture capitalists, all these people were the major source of these ICOs. When we look into the legal status, so here cryptocurrencies are actually considered as having little of issues when they actually are in the startup stage. And here we have two rules. One is sorry. Okay. See, here we have two rules. One is KYC and AML. KYC is nothing but know your customer. So here also, like a normal market, the cryptocurrency developer also should understand the mindset of a customer, mindset of an investor before he actually develops such a product to a customer. The second one, AML, is anti-money laundering. So when we count upon in our banking regulations or in a stock market condition, we use this word very often. So here also those two rules are actually into practice. When we see into the secondary market, there are four major industries that are playing an effective role in development of cryptocurrency and then moving forward with what they have started into actual acceptance by an investor. The first market is exchange. So how many number of transactions actually happens in the market? To understand that, they need to actually find a proper customer. They need to find a proper developing algorithm which will support an investor to have multiple exchanges. So the exchange where buyers and sellers of cryptocurrency trade, the main function is actually to make the trade easily possible. And whatever prices are posted, the same price the transaction happens. So sometimes there is bargaining, there is changes in the market, even in every hourly changes in the market. All these are there as a part of the exchange also in the secondary market. And the second element, what is connected here, is the wallets. So here this is a type of actually intermediary where the final user or the owner of the cryptocurrency, he is connected to the network. So now when we have to understand what is this wallet, it's just like our a box where we are storing our currency, or our cash wallet what we will be using. So now when a person is going to transfer, it moves into another person's wallet. So from one coin-based wallet to another coin-based wallet, the exchange actually happens. So how is this wallet actually happening? It is also a software program that has a proper secured storage. This is a part of the block that an investor is actually going to buy. And here we have a word called cryptography keys. Like how in bank locker we have a locker key, here we have cryptography keys. So that is a key password that we will be using to either transfer our funds or use it for our business activities. Then the third element in the secondary market is the payments. So how is this payment actually opens up? There are gateways where the users are, are again using blockchain technology to transfer money from one person to another. Sorry. So here money transfer services, that is a major element of payments. The second one is B2B payments. That also is happening, like normally business to business transaction. The third element is that payment to different activities like merchant services, and also accepting payments from the merchant services. Both kind of transactions becomes a part of payment. The most important word we have been seeing from the beginning is the word mining. So in mining, actually, we have 5 categories. We need not understand much of the technical part of mining, but at least an outer layer. As a financial understanding person, we need to know what is this, so that we will have a better idea on whether we will take up this into an investment idea, or we are going to drop it in this place after hearing from people who talk about mining. So this is actually another intermediary where the developer who actually operates, he is a part of that mining process. The developer of Bitcoin is the person who develops that mining process also. So he actually verifies, validates every transaction that happens through this blockchain technology. So we know, like, banks are holding our financial information. Here also developer is holding our financial information. So whatever transactions I do from my crypto account, the developer is actually having an idea what transaction I am doing. So the miners are those who are underlying a resource and thus expand it and secure the network. Here we have mining pool. So this is a combination of computational resources, that is most of technology resources, where they are increasing the frequency of transaction, reducing the time of transaction, and then giving slowly rewards to the users, frequent users, then also finding out new resources, developing new blocks to continue this particular segment for a quite a long future. So mining hardware manufacturing. So when we during COVID, initially when everything moved into online, actually all of us had the difficulty in going for an online class, handling an online class, and later on all our banking activities also became online, where we are not much aware of using certain services. I will not say all the services, but certain services we are not much aware about using that. And the reason is that earlier we did not have such an platform to actually use, and we were not actually trained to use such kind of services what the banks were providing to us. So here also this mining hardware, like when cryptocurrencies are all like initial stages, there were many business units which were started to support hardware development, software development, creating of blocks. All these new businesses came up into existence. So mining hardware is like designing, building specialized equipments to build blocks and certain related softwares, the system development. That is what we could understand. So many business units were able to develop using this model of currency. Then cloud mining services. Nowadays there is like outsourcing or leasing of services. This is one such connectivity we can bring. That is, the organization started renting the blocks that it has created to cryptocurrency service providers or the cryptocurrency developers. Then remote hosting services. So we don't know where the developer of cryptocurrency actually is there. So that is actually a drawback, but here we see how it is working. The organizations are actually hosting and maintaining the customers' mining equipments, the blocks that we are having. Same like our bank lockers. The bank is giving us a locker to store all our valuables, but we are not maintaining it. We are just paying a fees, annual maintenance fees, something. But the bank is in charge on maintenance of all the blocks what is given to us. So same way here also, remote hosting services is a new element of a business that was developed with the help of cryptocurrency development. Now, moving to the major item, investing on cryptocurrency. Was this actually accepted by the investors? So investment adaptation, investability. So was it out of the interest or curiosity of an investor, or was it like by force, or maybe seeing others, we are also tempted to move into such a kind of investment decision? So here we are going to see two items: investment adaptation. When we see investment adaptation, like someone who is invested in Bitcoin in the beginning of 2012, you think what will be the value of that cryptocurrency now? Almost 11 years. He would have become a millionaire by the time if we have invested in cryptocurrency. But even though there were much of price volatility, like the changes, the transaction jargons, whatever the person would have met, even then that technology development, investment in such kind of investment for a long time, definitely that would have earned much more today for him in the market. So it still generates actually a lot of decision we need to take to classify that cryptocurrency is an asset in which we can make investment. But we have to see that we are not putting all our investment into one slot. Like when we see in a normal share market investment, we say that we create a portfolio to set up that there is risky investment, there is non-risky investment. The same model can be developed here also. So what percentage of my savings I can put into blockchain technology, I can invest in a cryptocurrency. So that is how we should understand ourselves and then move ahead with the investment. Investability, that is trading versus transactions. Here, when we see providing liquidity opportunities to investment, the Bitcoin is actually a good measure of liquidity to investors. Like daily exchange rates are there, large volumes are being traded, and there is actually a slow and steady raise sometimes. And sometimes, because of the economic condition of the world, suddenly it goes down, no doubt in that. Now, when we compare Bitcoin's global trading volume to the transactional volume, it is stated that the investment medium is increasing faster than the transactional applications. So now the number of people who are ready to invest are actually more. But the number of people who are using Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency for a transaction actually is less. Now we can compare whether investment in cryptocurrency will be profitable to us or not. Because only when there is more transaction, the value of the currency will be higher. Even though there is more demand, supply, all those elements also plays a role. But when there is more transactions for a normal business transaction also, instead of our physical cash, we are going to use cryptocurrency. Then obviously that investment is going to gain benefit to the investor. So with the study that was conducted in the year 2021, where they found that the number of investors who come forward to make investment in cryptocurrency, especially in Bitcoins, there were much of investors who are ready. But when we see transactional value, actually the value has not increased. Starting from the year 2019, if we compare 21, they don't find big differences because the acceptance level is actually less. I think we are running out of time. Okay. The last part, I think one more part is also there. Let me finish. Maybe another 10 minutes, ma'am. Okay, so what is the difference between Bitcoin and other assets? Generally, we need to understand before we select a particular item of investment, how is these two elements different? Because we are all used to our normal investment setup, and when we have to move into a new one, how is this new one going to gain us some profitability? So now when we read certain points given by economists, they say that this is an instrument that should serve three purposes. One is the medium of exchange. It should be a coin that the government should approve as a medium of exchange. The second one, it should be a medium of account. So any transaction that is happening, incoming, outgoing, all transactions should be processed through the cryptocurrency. And the third one, it should have a store value. like how Indian currency, we have a store value. So the cryptocurrency also should have a store value. Then only this will become a proper investment element. Then nobody can ask a question, should we invest in cryptocurrency? Is this going to be a speculative element? There is no question to ask if these 3 points are actually coming into existence. Now, moving to the last part, cryptocurrency bubble. Actually, as a financial person, we should understand what is this bubble. So this is a process of self-reinforcing, reflexive, exponential rise in the prices of certain market. Many investors and analysts actually claim that Bitcoin and every other cryptocurrency are scam. And they see that prices will anytime go to zero, prices will increase or fluctuate like enormously, there will be changes. But this is true, nobody will deny that. But even then, they are holding major capitalization, market capitalization. So how was that possible? How they were able to cope up with the customer requirements? They were able to attract more investors. It's the one concept here is everyone is buying. So a person near me, he has invested in cryptocurrency. He has earned a minimum profit in a short time. So always like that speculative mind is there. So he earned a minimum profit, but in a short time, which created interest in me to read what is this. Then now I will make an investment. So seeing me, a next person is going to invest. So slowly there is a rise in the investment. This bubble is nothing but creating a market condition that is going to be supportive to an investor who will accept a speculative trading. So if I am ready to make an investment in cryptocurrency, I should be accepting that it is a speculative market, and anytime the value might go to zero and anytime it might reach 100. So I should be ready with any of the ideas. Then slowly the investment categories can increase. There were some other authors also who have accepted that cryptocurrency actually is an asset. And especially they are prone to all the like negative aspects of people understanding before they make investment. So now this bubble is an idea that will transfer to the investor that cryptocurrency is a speculative element, and read all the offer documents, whatever you are going to sign an agreement. So read everything before you do an investment. So these are the two different factors what we need to consider before we select cryptocurrency as our investment. Internal, external. External factors, we are none of us to regulate all that. That lies with the developer, with the government, with the economy and all that. But internal factors, certain elements we can actually think about: the transaction cost, the reward system, that is what offers or the best price that we are going to buy, and also the difficulty in the technology what the cryptocurrency is using. So now if we ask the question whether cryptocurrency is an investment category or a speculative element, 100% cryptocurrency is a speculative element, no doubt in that. But when we see the future of digital currency, the future of the currency will be actually cryptocurrency, will be dominated by cryptocurrency. What we are seeing today, the same will not continue in the near future. There are high chances that this is going to gain market condition. This is going to gain better elements in the financial categories. Then automatically we will support in investment in cryptocurrencies. That's all from my side. Hope that would have been at least little bit of usefulness for all the listeners. Thank you so much. I think I have taken extra time.
Any questions from the audience?
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, if we move on to using cryptocurrency as a whole nation, will it affect any of the section of the society or any of the profession like chartered accountants in few decades? Because my aim is to become a chartered accountant.
There is no connection to cryptocurrency and chartered accountancy. See, anyway, whatever is our financial terms that we are using, we need an accounting system. So that is not going to affect in any way. But the other ideas might be like in our normal banking system itself. If we are going to use cryptocurrency, again, technology enhancement will be there. Like how from records we moved into software, so now from cash we are moving into digicash. So slowly that technology actually will eat us up, but there will be no change, most especially when we talk about the financial segment. This will not have much of change. No, there is no doubt that an auditor will lose his profession if digital currency is going to take up in the market. Nothing like that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Which cryptocurrency do you consider to be the best?
Out of the four mentioned, actually Bitcoin holds the highest market share. The second one is Ethereum. The only difference is a little bit of security aspects to my technology understanding. But when we always prefer investment in the first category, so we will like prefer with Bitcoin. That will be better because it is being invested by many people, and also there are transactional experience using that Bitcoin when we compare with Ethereum or Ripple. These coins are not much used for transactions. But when we see Bitcoin, of course, yes, it is used actually, but might be the number of transactions are less, but it is used. So my choice, if you ask, it will be Bitcoin.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Among these types of cryptocurrencies, which are most economically and affordable to man, ma'am?
There is nothing like that which will be affordable. It depends on how much you would like to invest. It depends on how much you will be able to take forward, how long time you will be planning to make your investment. It depends on all that. Like affordability is my choice, personal choice, that a developer cannot suggest on that.
Thank you. Ma'am, what is your advice for young investors in cryptocurrency?
Either in cryptocurrency or in a stock market, first we should understand the technicalities behind what is happening. Then we will decide whether investing in it is better or not. To me, if you personally ask, I got to know about the cryptocurrencies once we in the group, as I shared with you in the beginning, like we started to work to collect papers to publish it as a book. So for that, basically, we need to know some idea, basic information about what is this, how it is developed, whether this is a financial element or not. That is how I actually started learning about this. And when we see certain elements, okay, minimum investment might sound profitable. If not, like sometimes we hear people who make a bigger amount of investment in share markets and suddenly they are losing money. So such risk should not be taken, whether it is a capital market or it is a stock market, currency market, wherever it is, the understanding of the regulations, a little bit of future predictions, everything is needed before you make a huge amount of investment. So slowly understand what is happening, minimum investment, earn profit, then the profit can be reinvested like a normal business. It can be reinvested so that you are not going to use some extra money out of that into your investment. The same money repeatedly you are going to use, even if it is going to be risky idea, you will lose only that small amount. So that will be fine.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Why are you preferring Bitcoin is the best while there is a lot of digital currencies available, ma'am?
Of course, there are a lot of digital currencies available. I prefer Bitcoin because of the market capitalization, because of the like what to say. They are it is more famous. That's how we should take. Even Ethereum is highly accepted. That stays in the second place. So it's only the choice based on the number of users, the number of transactions that happens using this currency. That's all. No big history behind why it is being chosen. It's just based on the market capitalization, the value, what it holds in the market. That's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Suresh Kumar, sir. Suresh Kumar, you can now ask the question. So thank you, madam, for your answer.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Actually, looking pleasant seeing you all once again in this week. So, thank you so much for the opportunity. Students might be a little bit useful on listening to me. Hopefully, we will meet one more time next time if I'm going to come back home. Thank you so much, and all the best for the next event.
Thank you, madam. So we sincerely appreciate you for talking out time from your busy schedule to provide us with such valuable information. So now we have got some idea whether to invest in a cryptocurrency. with your detailed message. Thank you, Madam, once again.
The elevator to success is out of order. You'll have to use the stage one step at a time. I'm delighted to offer a splendid welcome to our resource person for technical session 2, Thiru C.S. Sudhir, founder and CEO, Suvision Holdings Private Limited, Bangalore, India. Welcome, sir. May I now request Dr. M. Prema, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Commerce, to introduce our resource person for technical session 2. Please, madam.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. On behalf of PG and Research Departments of Commerce, it's my immense pleasure to introduce our eminent resource person, Mr. C.S. Sudhir, CEO and founder of IndianMoney.com, Suvision Holdings Private Limited, Bangalore. He was born on 4th April 1986. He completed his graduation in Bachelor of Business Management in Marketing and postgraduate from the Stanford University Graduate School of Business as a topper of his college. He started his career as a manager of ICICI Prudential Life Insurance and as a cluster head at Haddon, India. At the age of 22, he started his career as an entrepreneur to chase his dreams and goals. He started the IndianMoney.com on 2008. Now the company has crossed a milestone of 14 years and is awarded as India's #1 financial advisory app, providing financial assistance to over 50,000 people every single day. His vision is to provide financial literacy to the people of India through his Financial Freedom App. He has been a key speaker to RBI and also represented India in the World Banking Council. He is an inspiring entrepreneur, financial advisor, author, and a motivational speaker. His mantra is, "There is no shortcut to become rich, but there are secrets to become rich." Thank you for the opportunity given.
Thank you, Prema. We are excited to hear some words by our today's resource person. So we kindly request our respected Sudhir sir to continue our event by sharing your thoughts on why cryptocurrency is a threat to global economy. Please, sir.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Thanks for the invitation. Thanks for the kind words. I feel pretty uncomfortable seeing all blank screen. It would have been great if you all turn on the camera. Anyways, I will start. So I think I joined about 10 minutes early. I was listening to the earlier speaker as well about cryptocurrency. So when we think about cryptocurrency, I remember a small story. It had too many monkeys. And when this village had too many monkeys, the villagers were like, how do we get rid of it? So one day, one intelligent fellow in the village, he said, I'm going to buy all your monkeys by paying 25 rupees per monkey. So villagers left all their work. They started catching monkeys and started selling all the monkeys to this intelligent. He bought all the monkeys. Then the villagers' job became a bit tough. They were finding it difficult to catch the monkeys. So then villagers decided to kind of slow down their work. But then when the intelligent fellow found that villagers are not showing much interest in catching monkeys now, he said, from now I'm going to pay you rupees 50 per monkey. Then again villagers took extra interest. They caught the difficult monkeys. Then this intelligent fellow said, I'm going to increase it to 75. Then what happened? Villagers actually made their village a monkey mukta village. A village without any monkeys. So literally no monkeys. So this intelligent fellow bought most of the monkeys at 25, few at 50, and a very few at 75, and he got all the monkeys. Then he informed the villagers he will be leaving the village for some time to sell all these monkeys in the city, and he'll be back to village after a week, and then he will buy more monkeys from the villagers at 200 rupees a monkey. Listen carefully now. He said, I'm going to buy more monkeys at 200 rupees a monkey. Then the villagers actually were scouting for monkeys. They were not finding monkeys anywhere. But this intelligent fellow did an intelligent job. What he said, he appointed one assistant. He told him, do one thing, you sell back all the monkeys I bought from them, bought from the villagers, back to villagers for 100 rupee a monkey. This boy started selling the same monkeys which this person bought it from the villagers for 100 rupee a monkey, and villagers were very sure. They believed in this intelligent fellow. They were very sure this guy will come back after a week and buy all these monkeys back from them at 200 rupees. So what did they do? They started purchasing all the monkeys by paying 100 rupees. This boy whom this intelligent fellow had appointed, he sold all the monkeys back to villagers at 100 rupees and he left the village. This intelligent fellow never returned to village because he made his money. He bought all the monkeys at 25, he sold it back to them at 100 rupees. And now this guy never returned back. Now villagers lost their money and bought back their own monkeys. So problem also not solved, and the monkey, the money also lost. So what is the connection between this story and cryptocurrency? Let's think deep about it. So the monkey is that cryptocurrency or the token you call it as. The monkey in the story, the monkeys are these tokens or cryptocurrencies. And the villagers are the fools like those who invest in the cryptocurrency. Villagers are the same. I mean, all of us fools who invest in cryptocurrency are those villagers. The intelligent fellow is the one who is creating this cryptocurrency. There is a big mafia who create these cryptocurrencies. It started with one Bitcoin. Today there are, hundreds of cryptocurrencies in the country. And all of you who are listening to me now, if you want to have your own coin, tomorrow you can start your own cryptocurrency. That's not a rocket science at all. So villagers are those, villagers are the investors of cryptocurrency. Monkey is the cryptocurrency. That intelligent fellow is the one who created cryptocurrency. And the boy who sold the monkeys back to villagers are these cryptocurrency exchanges. The so-called cryptocurrency exchanges who are striving to give financial freedom to people. They claim that they're going to give financial freedom to people. So the irony here is, unfortunately, we are discussing about a scam of this magnitude called cryptocurrency. It's a scam. Why are we not discussing about drugs in the college then? Let's start discussing about the good, bad of that also. My point here is, cryptocurrency is a scam. It's a mafia. It should be simply ignored. By talking more Unfortunately, our media houses have become so irresponsible. They give full-page ad on national medias about cryptocurrency. I know the number of innocent Indians we are fooling every day in the name of cryptocurrency. This is going to create a disaster soon. So let's understand what is an asset or what is a currency. These are two different things. An asset has a value, which has a value which is like, an asset can be depreciating or appreciating one, but it has a value, economic value for whatever reasons. So whenever we make investment in an asset, right, we always invest in an investment, an investment vehicle which has an underlying asset. For example, I invest in a mutual fund. Mutual fund has an underlying asset. What is it? These are the debt instruments or the equity instruments it holds, right? So when I invest in a particular mutual fund of any fund house, it has got number of stocks in which it has invested. So there's an underlying asset. So that stock is basically I get the ownership of that. But in case of cryptocurrencies, you get a token, what they say. So which means Sudhir will open an Excel sheet in his computer and he will say that each one of you who are listening to me now, I will write your name in each row of my Excel sheet. And to write your name in my Excel sheet, you have to pay me 100 rupees. Just to write your name, because I'm giving you ownership of that row in my Excel sheet. The same bullshitting is what cryptocurrencies are doing. Will you pay me money if I say that I will write your name in one of the rows in my Excel sheet, because the Excel sheet which I'm using can only have about 1 million rows. It can't have more than 1 million rows. So there is definite, it is not infinite. There is a limitation. That's what cryptocurrencies are saying. The cryptocurrency, the marketing mantra is, it is limited. You can't mine unlimited. At one point it will stop. Then it will expand. The prices will go up again. My Excel sheet can only hold 1 million rows. So you pay me money, I will write your name. Is that logic make sense? That's what these cryptocurrencies are saying. See, unfortunately, I'll tell you, this is like, I consider this is like another East India Company, the British East India Company, which literally robbed India. Cryptocurrencies are doing exactly the same. Exactly the same. They're robbing countries like India. And our people are literally investing. And I think, I don't know, the students probably may not know this. Probably about 15 years back, in India, we had a online lottery called Playwin. Our people go behind fantasies very fast than the food. If the liquor shop can give me liquor, I don't care about the food. Unfortunate situation is that. Same thing is happening in the world today. Technology should be used to give food to people, not fantasies, the fulfilling fantasies of the people. So that's what is happening. So then, why is this going to be a disaster, a danger to global economy? So let me tell you how cryptocurrencies can shape the global economy. So think about it. Today, when you buy a Bitcoin, so it was trading at about, I think, 50 lakh change, and now it went down to 28 lakh. What is the Bitcoin rate today? I don't really care about it, so I don't normally bother much. So it's about 36 lakh. If you just see the cryptocurrency rate in the last 6 months or so, from 50 lakh to it has gone down to 26 lakh. And then again, it has bounced back to 36 lakh. So assume why this price is fluctuating, first of all. Who is behind this? In the last 6 months, 52 lakh to 26 lakh per Bitcoin. So if I invest in Infosys share, Now the Infosys share price will go up or go down because of the financial results of the company. Infosys gets a big project. Infosys has increased its profit margin. Infosys is expecting bigger profit next quarter. Infosys has brought in a world-class CEO. Infosys has got a new patent, a revolutionary patent. Automatically, Infosys future prospects will go up, which means that will reflect on its stock, and the stock price will go up. Or the reverse can be, Infosys has incurred huge losses. Infosys has lost a major client. Infosys had a fire in its one of its campus, and it has lost a campus. Infosys is affected with currency rates, the exchange rates, and things like that. And because of that, Infosys share price is going down. So there is an underlying asset. When the asset is shaked for whatever reasons, automatically the price will go up or go down. But in case of Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, the only reason the price is going up or going down is that there are more buyers or less buyers. If there are more buyers, price goes up. If there are less buyers, price goes down. So why do we have more buyers today? Because we all are greedy. We want easy money. If people says that, hey, you know what? Cryptocurrency can double your money in 6 months. Yeah, I want that easy money. I'm not willing to work hard. So we all are greedy. So automatically that will spoil the show. That's what is happening today. A lot of people want easy money, and in the pursuit of getting this easy money, they are creating this mafia, or they are indirectly supporting this mafia. So now what will happen one day? Think about it. In India today, all these cryptocurrency exchanges are giving out numbers like we've got 10 crore investors in India for cryptocurrencies. So these are all their marketing gimmicks. What did they do? They said, you download our app, I'm going to give you a $1 worth cryptocurrency free. I'm giving you 100 rupees worth Bitcoin free. Things like that they've done. By doing that, they onboarded a lot of customers. Okay? And by doing that, they say now we've got 10 crore investors in cryptocurrency, and they're using these numbers to lure more people and to bring more people to cryptocurrency hold. By doing that, they have taken away thousands of crores of Indians' money. And then imagine what will happen one day. When the cryptocurrency value goes down by 80%, 90%, the one who originally sold that coin to these public, he has made money. He has run away. Like that intelligent fellow who sold monkeys back to villagers. Similar way, the guys who created cryptocurrency, they have made money. They have gone away. Now, once the mining stops, as soon as the mining stops, the interest in the currency will go down completely. As long as you can keep mining, people may show some interest. Then you will have this. These are all called pyramid businesses. It is a pure pyramid business. Those of you who have heard about pyramid business, you will know it. So, one day, very soon, you will start seeing cryptocurrencies collapsing overnight. All their money will go. The way this intelligent fellow sold the monkeys back to the villagers and ran away from the village overnight, same thing will happen to many cryptocurrency investors. And imagine what will happen. All those people who invested in cryptocurrency, they invested with those expectations that they're going to create some wealth for the future. See, being a financial advisor, I tell my investors, risky investments or some experiments like this, probably 0.1% of your investment or total corpus, you can try. But unfortunately, a lot of Indians whose investable corpus itself is less than 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, they put in their complete investment into cryptocurrency. And they're going to be like, I don't know how many of you know this. There were days where people used to put in their hard-earned money. Even today it is happening in chit funds. When they put in their money in chit funds, and overnight the guy who's running chit fund run away. And all those people who put in their money, they lose their complete 1 year, 2 year savings overnight. Exactly same thing will happen. And then imagine what will happen. And not just that. Cryptocurrency has no traceability today. I will not be able to trace out who is the owner, who is holding it, how much is he holding, who paid whom, why did they pay. No, terror funding can happen. Drugs mafia, all underworld activities can happen through this. And not just that. Think about it. So today, Indian currency, Indian rupees, this is backed by a sovereign guarantee. That is Indian. Tomorrow, Indian government has also announced digital currency. Hopefully that will come. So even the digital currency, great idea. These are initiatives governments have to take up. Central banks of the governments, of every country should do it. But if you give the currency printing option to anybody and everybody, why not tax collection to anybody and everybody? Tell me. If we can give currency printing rights to anybody and everybody, why not tax collection to anybody and everybody? Why don't we say this? You have to pay me tax. This is ridiculous, isn't it? The government's job is to control the currency of the nation. Right? It has to print, circulate, control it. Similar way, it has to collect taxes. And it has to take care of the infrastructure, security of the country, maybe healthcare, education, the governance part. Now, what government is supposed to do, if every individual can do it and say, hey, you know what, I've got my own currency. I've got my own currency, everybody. So tomorrow I will come up with my Sudhir currency and Sridhar will come up with Sridhar currency, Bhuvneshwari madam will come up with Bhuvneshwari currency coins. What is wrong with us? We all are prospering and we say that we are in 21st century and we are prospering, but we are becoming fools. We're literally becoming fools. We hold something and we consider that as an asset where we don't even know where is it. We don't even know. Just because everyone is investing, just because the notional value is increasing, we consider that as an asset. It's not going to happen. So this is the concern I've got, and this, if it continues, believe me, it's going to be a big threat to the country, big threat to the world, global economy. And unfortunately, a lot of people, they say, I'm an expert in cryptocurrency. Why? Because he wants to make money again. I'm telling you guys, all you need to do is, please tell as many people as possible in your circle. It's a scam. It's a mafia. Simply because it doesn't have traceability. There is no sovereign guarantee. And there is no underlying asset. Are you all clear? There is no traceability. There is no underlying asset. There is no sovereign guarantee, which means it is a mafia. It's a pyramid scheme. It's a scam. So I hope I'm clear about it. Would love to take any questions which you may have. Am I clear? Moderators?
Sir, thank you. Any questions from the audience, sir?
Yeah, please. I would love to take the questions. Audience, any questions? Would love to hear if there are any questions from the students. those who are part of the session. Anybody?
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, I'm Sadish Kumar from Ayanada Janayamal College, Sivagasi, sir.
Please tell me, please tell me.
Why the people are interested to invest that cryptocurrency, sir?
It's
So you
simply
tell a
greed.
story.
See, there are three factors, okay? One is the greed.
Yes.
Greed is basically, I want to make more wealth. The second is herd mentality. Herd mentality is like, everyone is investing, let me also invest. The third is FOMO. What is FOMO? Fear of missing out. Oh, it may go big. Everyone will make money, I won't make money. Fear of missing out. FOMO. These are the three psychological factors, right? The greed, the FOMO, and the herd mentality.
Is there any protection given from the government side, sir?
Impossible. Government won't return you even 1 rupee. You invest 1 crore, you lose it. Government will never pay you even 1 rupee. And unfortunately, a lot of people are misleading, in fact, innocent investors by saying that government is taxing, which means it's legal. You know what? Tomorrow you rob someone, you get money from robbery. Government can tax. It doesn't mean that you have done the right thing. There is a separate court to punish you for robbery, but you have to pay taxes. You see now, a lot of people who come and say IT raid happened. When IT raid happened, so I've got 100 crore rupee total wealth, but I paid taxes only for 10 crore. The remaining 90 crore, I have to pay tax after the IT raid. But then, whether I have earned this wealth in the legal means, illegal means, there is a separate department to do that. So government is saying you have to pay tax. So, the IT department, right? IT department is saying that. So now government is going to come up with the cryptocurrency law very soon. I'm sure before they even launch their digital currency, they're going to have cryptocurrency law. And if my guesses are right, believe me, it is going to be banned. Believe me, it's going to be banned. Unfortunately, we have this saying, right? The old proverb which says that the palace, the fort door was closed after everything was robbed. So that's what is happening. The governments will always do that. They'll come up with a new policy to stop it or ban it once enough number of people are fooled. And this we have seen it, not today alone. So I think if you ask me, the protections from the government, zero. You can't even go and complain. It is gone, as simple as that. Because government has very clearly issued its circular which says, we are not giving you any guarantee. And in fact, there's no traceability. You tell me one exchange which says, I will give you value guarantee for cryptocurrency. They can never. A cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin today, which is at 36 lakh, can become 1 lakh tomorrow. It can become zero. In fact, you can Google it. How many cryptocurrencies closed down? How many became zero overnight? I happened to meet one expert cryptocurrency guy who's working on something called ICO, initial coin offering, which is something similar to IPOs. He was saying, Sudhir, this is a bubble. He's from US. I met him in San Francisco. He was saying, Sudhir, it's a bubble. It's going to burst. Everyone will know it's a mafia. But before that, let's make money because it's easy money. And there's no traceability. You won't be held accountable tomorrow. Make enough money before it busts. As simple as that. So it's a white-collar mafia. Any more questions?
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Myself, Dr. Kaleshilvi.
Yes, please.
My question is, we say cryptocurrency is highly risky. What is your advice to the
It's not
investors?
just risky. See, risky is different from illegal scam. It's a scam. I mean, these are all the terms coined by these so-called experts who have the propaganda to promote this. So it's not just it's not risky. It is a scam. Yeah.
So, what is your advice for the investors?
I mean, it's a scam. Don't even invest a penny in it. It's a scam. Please educate. I'll tell you, if we all start educating the masses about it, I will bet all cryptocurrencies value will come down by 90% in the next 3 months. If this education continues, if we all educate everyone that don't buy cryptocurrency, don't invest in cryptocurrency, believe me, in 3 months, all cryptocurrencies will collapse by 90%.
Sir, why the government stop this type of illegal investments, sir? This is a duty of the government or Security Exchange of Board of India to protect the investors. It's a duty. So why they are not done well, sir?
See, if you all remember, at one point, RBI had said cryptocurrency transactions shouldn't be allowed by any bank, and RBI had issued a circular around it. Then this cryptocurrency mafia went to court and they said there is no policy around it. There is no law around it. Hence, you can't say it is illegal. If I say if it is not illegal, it doesn't mean it is legal. So there's a difference. It is just not defined. You understand? So it is just not defined. So the government is in the process of drafting a new law to see. In fact, many people are saying government is going to regulate cryptocurrency. If you see government's this budget announcement, they never said it's going to be cryptocurrency regulation. They said Cryptocurrency and Regulation of Digital Currency Act. So it is going to block. I'm telling you, cryptocurrency is going to be banned soon. Matter of time. In fact, many governments have already given orders. Even American government is very specific about it now. But it takes time. I mean, the government level, see, you tell me the ones who run the government, are you all happy with our education system today? Are we all happy? I am not happy with our education system. It's been 75 years of independence. Why is this not fixed then? They won't. It doesn't matter to them. Who's losing money? Who's losing life? It is the common people like us. All we need to use is our wisdom, our knowledge, decision. What is it? I told you there are 3 reasons why I consider cryptocurrency as a scam. No traceability, no sovereign guarantee, no underlying asset. Just 3 reasons. Can someone, I mean, you bring any expert who can debate with me and say these 3 are there. Impossible. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Do you think in 2023 India will launch its cryptocurrency?
Dr. Brunda, it is not that India is going to launch its cryptocurrency. India is going to launch its own digital currency. What is the difference between a cryptocurrency and a digital currency? Cryptocurrency has to be mined by these miners. And these are basically tokens and there's no underlying asset. But a digital currency is backed by the central bank of the country and there is an underlying asset, there is sovereign guarantee, there is traceability. So you may ask, what is the difference between digital currency and the internet banking or mobile banking? In mobile banking and phone banking, if I transfer, let's say 1 crore rupee from my account to Dr. Brunda's account, you won't know whether how many 500 rupee notes are there, how many 1,000 rupee notes are there, what is the number, the identification number of those currency notes. That is not there. But when I give 1 crore rupee cash to Brunda, the serial number of the note is there. Similar way, when we move from, when we launch our own digital currency, we will have all that. There will be absolute traceability. So the way a 1,000 rupee note, wherever it goes, we can trace it. This number was originally with Sudhir, then it went to Brunda, then it went to Hemashri, then it went to Satish. Similar thing will happen now. So that's the whole idea behind digital currency. So government nowhere mentioned that they're launching cryptocurrency. They have only said they're going to launch their own digital currency.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Kavita.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I'm a person with science background, now we connected to commerce, but you gave 3 rigid, solid reasons which confirm that cryptocurrency is just a scam. It was so clear, nobody can even debate with you. And I have a simple question, sir. Actually, our NSE and BSE are trading in futures and options which are derivative based on some underlying. When you are saying that this cryptocurrency does not have any underlying at all, actually, I see that even futures and options trading is going on in these cryptocurrencies. How come this is possible, sir?
Okay, so trading in an asset or an investment, which is having an underlying asset or not having an underlying asset, which is more or less the same. So, for example, what is futures and options now? Think about it. Now, I go to a horse race and I say that this horse is going to win. Okay, this horse is going to win. Now, what is the underlying asset there? It is just that the horse is going to tide the race. If it wins, I get the money. Pure gambling, right? So futures and options are basically pure gambling, right? So now cryptocurrency as well, I am going to say that the Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin future, I'll say that, okay, Bitcoin is going to hit this price on this day. So assuming that I will make a contract, futures contract, I will buy it at this price after a month, or I'm selling it at this price now. So this futures and options are available. And that's not this is the problem, right? So today, a lot of things, we have understood wrong. See, what we think is, if this is possible, it means it is legal. No, it is not that correct. It is not correct. So it is like the way it happens in our villages and towns today. Someone who is involved in illegal activities, he becomes the corporator, he becomes the MLA. And once he becomes an MLA, he thinks whatever he has done is gone. Right? So similar way, here also we are actually doing the same thing. It is anyway illegal, but just because futures and options are happening, and we are trading in futures and options, it is actually legal. That's wrong. And in fact, the other thing here is lot of business schools these days, they are actually using futures and options, stock trading as a marketing strategy. They say that those who graduate from our college in MBA or whatever graduation degree, we teach them futures and options or trading in stocks, things like that. My only request is make our future generation, our youth, a true asset to the country. I'm telling you, those who get into trading, stock trading, futures and options, they're actually not contributing anything to the nation. So my request is not just in cryptocurrencies, even trading in stocks and shares is a bad idea. It's a very bad idea. Unfortunate that it is being promoted and it is legal in India. So that's again a different controversy which we need to discuss about.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you all participants for your questions. I also thank you, sir, for your answering the questions
My pleasure. Thanks for the invite.
So on behalf of our college and our department, we thank you for sharing your valuable time with us, sir. And also we learned that is the pros and cons of trading in cryptocurrency, and also about the future of the cryptocurrency.
Great.
Thank you, sir, once again.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. Thanks, everyone. I'll take your leave. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you, sir. So now the time approached for lunch. We all join meet at 1:45 p.m. Thank you.